Like, of course, like you're gonna need communication. Like if you hear footsteps and your teammates haven't turned back to look at the footsteps, you're gonna say, dudes, I hear footsteps behind us. And then that could be a way, that could be like a place where hidden communication like pops up and your team just full swings or they just hold it. Like based off of, if it's a team that you play with all the time, there's gonna be less things that you start calming because you need to value efficiency over anything else. Like if you lose a fight that was messy, that's because you weren't efficient. You didn't make the best play. Like your team didn't make the best plays, including you yourself. Unless if like one person didn't pick up their weight, two people didn't pick up weight, or everyone didn't pick up their weight. As long as the efficiency is there and the quick decisions are made without delaying by saying something that you should, number one, already know. Like not everyone knows, but like for those who play a lot, the number one they should know, which makes the game easier, especially for solo queue. Especially for solo queue, dude. Like I've played with, like this season, I played with two Preds, and we didn't talk. I actually really wish I like clipped that game or like I streamed that game, but we didn't communicate at all. We all did our own thing, and then when we knew that you can't just start doing our own thing, we regrouped and we just started playing together. And then we just made decisions like with the ping system. We need to over explain anything. Especially like if you're in a team and you have an IGL, listening to the IGL is very important. It's good to have like your own thought process and to do like your own things sometimes, but it's very important to play off of the IGL and not to play like, okay, it is important to play with, but I'd say it's better to play off of because you have the knowledge to not only make the IGL's play better, but to make it 10 times better than it should be. Because your awareness from like no one over explaining the situation, you using your brain to understand the situation rather than to continually argue the situation. Also, like the people that don't use the ping system, I feel really don't like really aren't aware. Because the ping system is so well made in this game. It's actually really well made. And then they also added the quips of the legends. When they take damage, they deal damage, who they crack. You can ping where they cracked. You can ping whether you're going to defend there, whether you're looking in that direction, whether you're going to start attacking here. It's so good. And you don't need to explain anything other than letting your teammates know. Like it makes it so much easier for your teammates to just play off of you. Because a lot of the time, if you're playing like with someone, like you're not really thinking for yourself, you're just letting them do all the thinking. So the IGL basically, or maybe someone who just knows a little bit more knowledge than you. If you're just playing with them, you're not as efficient because now you only have the power of one person who's using their brain. Well, if you just have a little bit of map awareness, your team can freaking be so efficient that you could probably fight two teams at once and not even like worry. The amount of times I'm in a fight, like I'm fighting a team and like I know I'm destroying this team and then my teammates like armor gets cracked. There's like that split decision to continue fighting or to back up and just play with my team. In more cases than none, when I know my teammates are good, I would back up and play off of them because now they have less shields. It's 100 against whatever they're fighting, and I know for a fact they'd probably deal damage, so it's probably an even trade. And if I'm taking this fight on my own, it would be better for me to just quickly go with my teammate, eliminate this guy or this squad, and then they help me to eliminate the squad that I was fighting. Like, yes, it's a team game. I understand it's a team game, but a lot of solo like things that you do as an individual play such big roles that everyone really underestimates it. Like I'd say rather than arguing against someone who like really like is passionate and understands what they're saying, because you can really tell when people understand what they're saying, and you can tell that they trust you because they don't give you the full details of the situation. The hidden communication is very important, and no one takes advantage of it. Literally no one. And I feel that's just, it just makes the game so dull when you solo queue and when you play with your like with friends and stuff. Because as someone who likes to just play at my best at all times, and like recently I can't play at my best. I'm constantly restricted by FPS. the lag, the crashes, the performance hit from streaming. I can't always play at my best, but knowing that that my teammates trust me to know what call they're going to make because we have chemistry and we understand each other as a player, it just helps so much. And then the biggest issue I have is when people over explain stuff and then they start to talk more than what is like necessary. That drops performance. But like for pro players, obviously they talk all the time because they're entertaining and they are good at the game. They can 1v3 while talking, explaining every single step that they're doing. They're at the top of the game, that they can do that. But for the people below that, you can't just over talk everything or can't just over explain everything. It drops efficiency so much, and those split second decisions fall through so much faster when you over explain. Like if you have a specific plan, like we're gonna queue up here and then we're gonna fight this team. Like the queue up is very important to mention. This team is important to mention, but you also need to mention that there's one on the left, one on the right. If you don't have information on that, then it's important to say, I'm not sure where they are, but we can still take this fight. That's all the explanation you need. You don't have to be like, okay, we're gonna run up here, we're gonna queue over there, we're gonna go up. Like the team is probably on the left, the right, and the back. Yeah, no, we need to take this fight because this team behind us is going to be. Immediately, you're over explaining. You're wasting time. This team is probably already doing something that is gonna counter what your play is, and because it went from decisive to indecisive. Okay, it didn't really go to indecisive, but it went from decisive efficient to decisive slow and murky. Now the play isn't good. A lot of the times it works because the player speaks fast and the team can understand because they can understand how like this person when they speak fast, but not everyone can understand that. And like me with my headset, my headset's very clear, but my ears aren't really the best. So if people don't enunciate their words, I literally can't hear full sentences. And I just ignore what they say because I don't know what they said. I don't want to ask, oh, pardon, say again, unless if it's like very important in the moment. But like it's just so important to be decisive, efficient. A lot of pro players give you like these tips and tricks to be better. I'm not a pro player. I'm like slightly above average. I can hit masters. I wanted to grind pred this season, but I fell short in ability since these other players are so much better than me. But like the one thing that I can see that they fall short on, like on specific teams, is when they're being too talkative. And a lot of the time you can actually like see if a team is communicating and being like inefficient versus a team that's barely talking and being efficient in a fight. Like it's a day and night clear. Like Mandy has been killing me so much. They barely give any comms to them, like to each other. They only give what's necessary most of the time. They never over explain. Mandy, Taishin, and RPR, they're a good example. They never over explain anything because they know, yeah, no, dude, it's basic. It's like basic. It's taking us back to basics. You should know this already. Like we've done this before. And that just comes with playing the game a lot. But yeah, nah, hidden communication. By the way, this is just my take on how the like ranked and the pro scene can be better, like better than what it is right now. Like this is just like my opinion. You guys can definitely like talk about it. I don't want to argue anything. I just want to have like a proper conversation. And I don't want to like fight like, oh no, that won't work. I want more of an understanding argument if you want to like debate a little. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, that's just how I think about it. The reason why I made it into a video is because I don't want people interrupting me and freaking being like, actually. But yeah, no, that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention.